I love my popcorn.
Movies.
Popcorn. Hello and welcome to Movie On Up with your hosts, me, Alfie Walker.
And me, Adam Barlow.
We're here on form, or one of us is, buzzing with excitement from the previous day's events. We are ready and raring to go. This is an entire episode dedicated to the early preview of Mission: Impossible - The Final Reckoning. Catchy title.
I'm glad you got the punctuation right. Well done.
It's because you think it should be Mission Impossible : The Final Reckoning, but because they already used the colon for the graphic back in like 2001, they can't do it anywhere else now.
Yeah, I don't know where they go from there. What else could they implement? A semicolon? Maybe some brackets? I don't know.
I wonder if any film has ever had brackets used in its title. I highly doubt.
Yeah, there must be. There must be out there somewhere. God knows. Well, let's just get into it. So yesterday, Moving Up, or half of us, managed to go to the media screening of Mission Impossible 8. Mission Impossible 8, let's just call it that. And oh my goodness, I can't believe we were A, invited, and B, that I got to see loads of podcasters and loads of TikTokers there that I've watched for years. So, you know, all the classics. You had James from Pulp Kitchen. You had Daniel, like the movie dweeb. You had...
No George. Damn. Just Pulp, no Kitchen.
Yeah, just Pulp. Not the bands, though, just James from Pulp Kitchen. Who else was there? Eilish Morrison, who was in a Chris MD video and also does loads of Lord of the Rings and Hot Fuzz impressions. Yeah, that was funny. She was stood up for ages waiting for Daniel to come in. And like, it's fun. I'm talking like I know these people. Like, I must stress I don't.
Clarifying, I don't. Yeah.
But I was there like looking around and watching them and smiling at them. I must look really creepy, man. If I saw someone like me looking at me like I was, I'd walk out. Like, screw the premiere. I'm getting out of there. But it did make me laugh. So I went along with Lewis Eyre, who I know through Nerve Radio and Bournemouth University. He's also a journalism student, so it felt nice to bring along a fellow BAMJ and moreover someone who also wants to be a film journalist as well. And we've got a clip of us walking away from Leicester Square, which I'm sure we'll put in the episode a bit later on. But it was funny when we swanned into Cineworld's Leicester Square. We weren't quite sure what screen we'd be in, and turns out we were all in the IMAX, so that was really cool. I've only been in an IMAX once, and it was for Gladiator 2. Have you ever done an IMAX screening?
Not in the Cineworld. I have done one. I did Skyfall in IMAX. It's the only film I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh, I bet that was sick.
Yeah, I remember it being a little bit too intense, actually.
Yeah, it is almost a bit too immersive, I think, because especially this film, we may as well address it. It's got a runtime of 2 hours and 49 minutes.
That's killer. That is absolutely significantly taller than Tom Cruise. That's Tom Cruise on several Apple crates. Like,
that's Tom Cruise standing on Tom Cruise.
On a Tom Cruise. Without his shoes on.
That's Tom Cruise times 2. That's 2 Cruise.
2 Cruise.
Cruise is a unit of measurement
Tom,
now.
2 Cruise.
Oh, man. Timothy Cruise. standing on himself. I don't know, that's really tickled me. Sorry, I'm gone. Anyway. I've lost my train of thought. All I can see is 2 Tom Cruises standing on 2 Tom Cruises. No, that'd be 4 Tom... No, just 1 Tom Cruise on 1.
4 Cruise.
What was I saying?
4 Cruise, Tokyo Cruise.
No, make it stop. Tom Cruise Ghost Protocol, i.e. the 4th one. Okay. Yeah, so we swanned into Cineworld and we were allowed to sit wherever we wanted. And on each chair was a free bag of popcorn, which I brought home. It looks like quite a nice make. It's sweet and salty, as it should be.
Nice. Should be.
And it's a brand called Jimmy's, which looks very American. And I can only imagine that Tom Cruise himself bought this popcorn for everyone. You know, I feel like he's the sort of guy.
Tesco.
Yeah, you know he did. You know he did.
through like the skylight. He went in through the roof,
Yeah.
bought the popcorn, and left through the normal door.
He took a small trolley and was whizzing down the aisles. He jumped in and was like, I need this, and I literally need one of these.
And my popcorn.
Yeah, movies, popcorn. Oh, it's going to be a great episode. And yeah, and we also had a little can, like a tin of water, which was very bougie, and it felt very, very high income country, you know? Like, you don't need a tin of water, but anyway, there we were. I actually lost my tin of water because I was too scared to open it, as they were too skinny to fit in the cup holders. You know, now in the cinema, to reduce mess, they've got like a hole so that only the cups you buy there will fit in there. So the cans would just slide on right through. And Noah and I, like the two guys next to us, kept having to leave to go to the toilet in the runtime. And I don't blame them, it's a long film, but they went twice, which I think...
Yeah, you can go once. Like, going twice is insane.
Yeah. I'm glad you agree. So yeah, we had to keep getting up, and the IMAX screenings have very, very short and very narrow walkways between the back of the seat and front, and because the seat sort of folds up, that's also quite chunky because it is a comfy seat, but it means there's a lot of padding on it, so it was really difficult. So I felt awkward for blocking the view of the people behind, and I was also risking just falling down this really steep cinema, so it was terrifying. And as a result, I accidentally kicked my can of water underneath my chair, and I will never ever see it again.
It was lost to the void of Cineworld.
Yeah, that's Tom Cruise's now. He was scurrying around collecting bottles that people discarded. No, unfortunately though, there was no talent. Well, no talent from the film anyway, I should say. You know,
Adam just fell out with any TikToker friends he made there. There was no talent there.
Yeah, all these journalists from across London and across the UK, there's absolutely no one of any significance or talent or charisma. No one there. But no,
yeah, so no Hayley Atwell, no Tom Cruise, no Ving Rhames, whatever his name is, no one like that. It was just all you little press junkies.
Yeah, because they were all in Cannes, a little festival called Cannes, I think. So, yeah. I guess the weather's nicer there or something, I don't know. But, ironically, the actual London premiere is happening as we speak, which is quite fun. So, I'm just imagining Tom Cruise going into the cinema. I presume it would be the same one that we were in yesterday, right? So, someone... Yeah,
they wouldn't set it up for one thing, would they? Yeah.
Some lucky bugger is going to get 2 cans of water.
And Adam Barlow's arse warmed their seat. Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Can you get a better cinema experience than that?
I would like to clarify as well. We did manage, or Adam did manage to secure, obviously, 2 tickets, and I was going to go, but then we had a moment of, oh, maybe we've only got 1 ticket. And then we asked the lady, no, have we got 1 or have we got 2? And she said, you've got 1. And then she said, you've got 2. And then she said, you can pick them up here. It was a real like splurge of emails that sort of didn't convey the information very well. And it was that was like a day before or 2 days before the actual event. So I could not get work off for it. So that's why we said Lewis can go, which I'm so happy you offered it to Lewis, because like you said, he wants to be a film journalist. He is a sound guy. He is someone who definitely appreciates that he went. So I'm really glad that he went with you. That's proper nice. But it seems like you had a good time there, to be honest, mate. It really does.
Yeah, it was a great evening, and I'm very lucky that we got to go. And I'm sure we'll get another experience just as good, if not better, in the future. I'm just imagining the next Star Wars film, maybe Mandalorian and Grogu next May. Maybe we'll both be there.
Imagine.
We would be we'd be vibrating with excitement, I think.
It would be a highlight of my life, I think, for real. Like, I think it would be like a press screening, a premiere for a Star Wars film would be insane. There you go. That's the end goal. I remember when we watched Mission Impossible. We'll get onto the actual review in a moment, I promise. When we watched Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, as it was called then, we walked out that cinema and Adam said to me, my aim is to be at at the screening for the next one
Yeah.
when it comes out. You did say that to me as we were walking past Moon in the Square in Bournemouth. And then when you messaged me being like, oh my God, I got a ticket. I was like, yeah, good on you, mate. Like, you said you wanted to go and you managed to get a ticket. It's great.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot that. And that would have been like a good 6 months before we started the podcast. So, damn, maybe I should have written a better caption on my LinkedIn post. Oh, well. I'll do another one. Yeah, just a final thing about the press screening before we get into the actual review. One thing that did just tickle me about the whole thing was, obviously, we're a small but plucky podcast. We've got our hearts of gold, but we haven't got the biggest listenership. I don't think that's a secret, but we very much appreciate the people that are out there and that do get in touch. And we love you all to bits, really. It's hard to pick a favourite, so we love you all equally. But it did feel a little bit, I suffered from imposter syndrome, I would say, when I walked into the IMAX, which always makes my jaw drop. And we were there in good time as well. The train had a delay, and yet we were still there about 10 minutes early, which was perfect. So we had 45 minutes to go to the toilet, sit down, post stuff all over Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, wherever. And we could sit wherever we wanted in the room. So we were like, right, well, it's filling up, but let's just go row C, bang in the middle. And we did. So it just makes me laugh, the thought of there being someone really important, and some big, maybe Mark Kermode sat in the back right corner.
At the back, yeah.
He's just grumbling about how bad his seat is, and we're there. Oh, free popcorn, free water, ooh, lovely seats, cool. Waltzing on in. Yeah, great evening though.
Oh, amazing. It looked fun, and I was gutted to miss it. Should we just go for a review, mate?
Let's do it.
Take it away.
Light the fuse. Okay, we're walking through Leicester Square, just come out of the media screening of Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. And oh my God, it was a reckoning.
They did say The Final Reckoning quite a lot during the film. I think 4 times, maybe?
Yeah, maybe more.
Maybe more, quite a lot.
I thought it was exhilarating. Maybe a bit long, but very, very cool.
You got papped on the way out and you said exhilarating was the one word that you would use to describe the film. I'm so glad that she didn't come up to me, because I would have just said fine, I think.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, can I give you a noise?
I don't know, not my sort of vibe in terms of if I'm going to pick a film to watch, but on the IMAX screen was a real good experience, so I'm really glad I came. Really glad I was treated to the movie on up treatment of a premiere in London.
It is time to discuss the highly anticipated 8th instalment of the Mission Impossible franchise, essentially Tom Cruise, the movies. And I'm not talking about, let's be honest, we all have an impossible mission, Tom. You're nothing special. Alfie had mic trouble before this episode, so we can all relate to you, mate. Anyway, he feels the need to document his struggles in films, and annoyingly, they're quite good as well. So Mission Impossible picks up, The Final Reckoning, I should say, picks up months after Dead Reckoning from 2023, which I think struggled at the box office because it came out a couple of weeks before Barbenheimer, didn't it?
It did, yeah, it did struggle. That's the whole reason why they renamed it, wasn't it? Because it was going to be part 1, part 2. And yeah, they obviously changed it now to Dead Reckoning and now The Final Reckoning.
I guess they wanted to give themselves a bit of distance between the last one and this one. Yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, as I say, picked up a few months after that. You've still got the same villain played by Ezai Morales, Gabriel, who is working with the Entity, this highly, highly advanced AI software that at the start of this film has basically managed to take over all of cyberspace, essentially. And it's got... Yeah, apparently, yeah. Don't question it. And I'll try and give a spoiler-free review this episode. We'll talk about it, I'm sure, a couple episodes down the line, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I'm going to tiptoe around spoilers. So yeah, the Entity has sort of managed to inspire people that are chronically online, I guess, to be sort of kind of Black Mirror-esque champions of the internet and the computers, and they've wormed their way into governments and basically anywhere important all around the globe, and they are assassinating people, and they're making the whole world turn to chaos. There's SWAT teams just in Leicester Square and in Trafalgar Square just for the fun of it, I guess. There's always kind of shootouts and fights and, you know, international disagreements. It's all going badly. The economy's crashing. The whole world is in peril right from the get-go. And
sounds like a standard day in Earth in 2025, if you ask me.
Well, yes, exactly. And I do think that's a strong part of these last two Mission Impossible films, is how timely they feel. Like, jokes aside, the whole AI thing, especially just in the 2 years since this and part one, has really kicked off. And I know ChatGPT, I mean, it can barely summarize an article, but and it does take 2 to 3 working days to give you an image of an American Pope. Best believe I tried. But in these films, AI is quite competent. And AI, if you're listening, I never had any doubt you are brilliant and very smart, and I'll do anything to avoid you killing me. There we go. I think I've covered my butt on that one. So the entity is just not a nice thing, really, and the whole film actually opens with quite a nice ethereal almost zoom in of this abstract representation of the entity. So I don't know if you remember them going to the party in Dead Reckoning, where there's a bit of a standoff and like the White Widow's there, or is it the White Widow? I can't quite remember. The one played by Invisible Woman from the New Fantastic Four. I'm blanking on her name, but she's there. And Vanessa Kirby, yes, thank you. Yeah, that whole sort of standoff in the party, and they say, "Oh, the entity's here," and it's sort of represented by lights and this shimmering blue, almost eye-looking thing that's on screens. Do you know what I mean? So that is what this film opens with a load of flashbacks and scenes taken from all the other films, even Mission Impossible 2, I think, admittedly.
Which is arguably the black sheep of them all, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Mission Impossible 2, but I do like all the others, I would say. Yeah, but it was nice to see Mission Impossible 2 at least acknowledged, considering it is a bit crap. Yeah, as you say, definitely the black sheep of the family. So I thought it does a really good job of setting the tone, making it feel dark and grungy, and like the stakes are really stupidly high in this film, like they always are. Like, all the missions are impossible, right? But this one, if you can even like split those, you know, the atoms of how specific these films are, this mission is particularly impossible.
I mean, arguably, none of the missions are impossible because, I mean, no spoilers for this one, but arguably he does always succeed, right? So
I can neither confirm nor deny, but I think you can probably guess my answer, yeah. But by God, they're damn near impossible. Mission Almost Impossible is the real name.
Mission very, very difficult.
Yeah. Mission fucking hard, mate. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of all I can give away about the plot, really. Obviously, all the cast members return. Tom Cruise, of course, as Ethan Hunt. Hayley Atwell back as Grace. Pom Klementieff as Paris, who has now properly turned around and she's one of the good guys now. You've got Simon Pegg there. Excellent, you know, comedic relief as ever, and also really competent in the field as well. He's a great character, and I can't wait to see him hopefully down the line. Benji Dunn is his character's name. Henry Czerny back as Agent Kittredge, who I love. Great to see him back from Dead Reckoning and the first Mission Impossible 29 years ago. Ving Rhames, and then you've got newcomers in there like Holt McCallany as one of the Secretary of Defense. I think that's right. You've also got Angela Bassett back. She was, I think, the leader of the CIA in Fallout, was it? I think so.
Oh, nice. So they proper brought it round full circle with some of these people. That's
Yeah. I mean, one of the great pulls from, I mean, it's definitely just for nostalgia, but I actually think they did it quite well. And it's in the It's in the trailer, so I guess I'll say. But they get Rolf Saxon back, who was the CIA analyst who worked in the Black Vault at Langley, is it? The Langley heist. So right back from the first film, he drops the knife and it lands on the desk, and then the guy comes in. Like, don't they give him laxatives or something? And that's how he leaves the room.
Yeah.
They get that actor back, and he has a pretty substantial role in this film, which I think is lovely. And they like properly catch you up with what he's been doing in the last 30 years and what that mission has meant for him, because he got fired and like ends up in this place, and his life's been ruined really by Tom Cruise in this one film way back 30 years ago. And I just thought it was really funny, but also very wholesome. And
yeah, it's like a cool way of tying up loose ends. It's nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's an effective way of, sure, pulling at the heartstrings and making you feel nostalgic, but in a way that does feel quite earnest, I would say. So yeah, what else? So I'll leave the plot there for now. I don't want to give anything else away. It is very knotty, I would say. It's quite plot heavy, probably to its detriment, actually. For example, I know a lot of people online, myself included, have had real issues with the first act, the first sort of 45 minutes to an hour. There are way too many flashbacks. They use loads of clips from the old films. Like almost every time someone says a name or says an object or says a location, they cut back and you get shown like 20 seconds of like, here's what happened last time. I'm like, no, I've seen the films. I know some people might not have, and maybe they'll benefit from this. But I think also
I don't think so.
It's not really
would, yeah.
It's not really that integral, really. There's maybe one thing that you might need to know going in, maybe if you've seen Mission Impossible 3. But beyond that, I mean, Dead Reckoning Part 1 obviously is important to have seen. But beyond those two films, I think you could probably just get away with it, really. Yeah. So seeing, like, and for me at least, someone who's seen all of them multiple times, having to sit through it again when it's already a 3-hour runtime, it's a bit like, come on, let's just get going. But that aside, once it does actually, pick up its feet a bit and get running, like Tom Cruise does so often in these films, it really gets going, mate. Like, there's a sequence about halfway through, and it's in the trailer, so I'll mention it, where it's about a 20-minute sequence, I would say. It's phenomenal, where he has to come up with a impossible plan within a wider impossible mission to retrieve something from the Sevastopol submarine, the one that sank at the beginning of the last film. And it is almost entirely silent and incredibly tense. And obviously I was in a packed room, like not one seat untaken, and everyone was just silent. Like you could hear a pin drop with how quiet everyone was. And there's moments where Tom Cruise is underwater, and obviously being underwater, you've got loads of issues like pressure, oxygen, the list goes on. Every time something happens, sharks, Vin Diesel in the Fast and Furious franchise, everything.
Wet, soggy, wrinkled feet.
Oh, don't
so
get
many
me
issues.
started.
Issues.
Yeah. Is it tap water? Is it is it spring water? Is it sparkling? Yeah. But it's a fantastic sequence, and I can't wait for you to see it. I think you'll really enjoy it. But every time something went wrong or almost went wrong, you could not just like a gasp, you could hear like everyone sucking their teeth, and I'm like, that is phenomenal. You've got everyone wrapped around your finger, and Christopher McQuarrie just has this down to a fine art now. This is his 4th Mission Impossible film, and God, he's got it on lock. He knows what he's doing, as does Tom Cruise. The other stunts in the film, as expected, brilliant, edited well, shot well, they're vibrant. There's moments of playful comedy within the action. Obviously, there's tension. The stakes are stupid high. It's almost depressing how high the stakes are. It is like end of the world stuff, and everyone's depressed and panicked, and everyone is sweating their cobs off. They're all in dimly lit rooms, whispering to one another, being like all mumbling. No one's got a clue what to do. And my God, the last half of this film was just pretty flawless in my mind. I thought it was fantastic. And yeah, the first act is definitely flawed, definitely muddled, and it does almost let the wider film down a bit. But I kind of looked past it, gave it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm a big Mission Impossible fan, as you know. So I overall had a fantastic time with it. The free popcorn definitely helped, and seeing it in IMAX was stupid. To be honest, it was massive, and I could have thrown up out of I was just on the edge of my seat, and it was a real cinema experience. It was very, 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 very good. Yeah, but it's not perfect by any means, and yeah, definitely too long. I would easily have shaved off about 30 minutes of it, if not more.
It sounds like the whole experience overall, the film, like you said, you're a huge fan anyway, so I think it's the equivalent of like me going to see Indiana Jones and how much I love those films, even though I know they're sometimes not the best. I think it's probably like that, where you're just like, it's such an epic spectacle for you and you love the films, and absolutely, you've seen it in IMAX. It's cool. It's so cool. I'm glad you got to see it. What did you give it on Letterboxd, out of curiosity? What was your star rating?
So I was between 4 and 4.5, which is probably maybe more than it deserves, given the first act, which I think is definitely troubled. But the reason I give it the benefit of the doubt as well, it's worth saying this has an estimated budget of between $300 to $400 million, which is a big budget, right? But you've got to consider the context that this was also inherently, by being part 2 of Dead Reckoning, although not in name, they had to. There must be somehow some overhanging COVID issues with this, and also they had the writers' strike during the production, which I think could have been partly why this plot is quite so sprawling, and maybe there are a few loose ends here and there. So I'm like, well, given the context, and it is Mission Impossible, like, how much do you really want there to be an emotional core of it?
It's a big spectacle, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. It's bombastic, fun, action fun. You say name an action film, don't you? And you go, Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible. It's the definition of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the living manifestation of destiny and action films. Yeah.
And it is the final one, right?
Well, yes, and yes and no.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
But people have said it's the final one, and it's called The Final Reckoning, and they probably name drop The Final Reckoning about 5 times in this film, which I just think is quite funny. But as to whether or not it's the final one, it's hard to say. It does feel like a send-off for some of these characters, absolutely. And without going into spoilers, yeah, there's a noise for you. Decipher that.
He gets infected with nanobots, left on an island, and blown up by a giant missile that Rami Malek causes.
Yeah, he looks to his left, and Daniel Craig's standing there. No, no, I can neither confirm nor deny. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. No, it's hard to say. Everyone in this film, or everyone in these films rather, wears masks and can easily be someone else, and yeah, it's hard to say exactly what the stakes are and what repercussions this film has. But also, like, John Wick Chapter 4, he dies at the end of that, right? Spoilers for John Wick Chapter 4.
And he's back for 5.
Yeah, so nothing really means anything, guys. Let's just stop timelines of any... Like, there are no cause and effect, okay? Not in Hollywood land. So let's just step back from that line of thinking. But you know what? If this is the last one, then I think they go out on a high. It's not the best in the series, but it's absolutely a fitting send-off and an epic finale. Could it have maybe been a bit more emotional? Could it have maybe been a bit more final, But I think when you've got a title of a series... The final reckoning, yeah, that's what they need.
The final reckoning coming out in 2028.
That's the first film that will use brackets. It'll be the final brackets final reckoning. That's so funny. But yeah, I mean, it is a tricky one because, you know, Mission Impossible, even the first film was impossible, obviously. So the fact that they keep doing these films and doing more and more bombastic stuff, I just don't know, A, where they go from here, and B, could you really take it seriously if they just keep doing impossible stuff, you know?
Space, mate. That's the only thing left.
Oh my God, you're so right. Yeah, that's going to be the next one.
Now it's time for everyone, open bracket, Adam Barlow's, close bracket, favourite section of the podcast. What's it time for?
It's time for Big Niche Question.
Very true. We originally said, what's your favourite... I mean, go for it. We'll fit that in here. What's your favourite cinema snack? That's what we were going to ask, and then we decided last minute to change it. But what is your go-to cinema snack when you go, Adam?
I love my popcorn. Movies? Popcorn. But no, not really popcorn for me. I love, you know what? If someone was like, right, you've got a tenner to spend at the Odeon, we're going to see Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I'll buy you anything you want for a tenner. What are you picking? I'm going for a pepperoni pizza from the Odeon, and if I have money left, a little scoop of cookie dough ice cream from the Ben & Jerry's counter. That's what I'm going for.
Maybe the most bougie cinema snack I've ever heard someone say. I'm going to have a full pepperoni pizza and some Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Mine, on the other hand, bottle of Dr. Pepper, bag of Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, no, Sour Patch Kids and the fizzy drink.
See, I would maybe also have a bottle of water with me. I would have a bottle of water.
Okay.
I usually go for a Dr. Pepper and a Sour Patch Kids and bring water from home.
I mean, you would need water for that because your face would just implode.
No, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, where his face melts off. That's what happens if you combine Dr. Pepper and Sour Patch Kids.
Or in The Last Crusade, when the guy ages really quick. That's what your head's doing. When you A and
sour,
B, yeah. I have got another combo which I alluded to last episode. It's so good. Jelly Babies and crispy M&Ms together are a fantastic combo because you've got the chocolate, you've got the sweets, you've got the soft jelly, and you've got the crispy crunchiness. Put like a handful, like maybe 3-4 M&Ms in your mouth, then a Jelly Baby on top, crunch down, chew on that. It is a glorious combo.
Like a Bassett's Jelly Baby covered in like the talcum powder.
Yeah, talcum powder. Yeah.
Wow, maybe I have to try this. I haven't had Jelly Babies in years, but go on, I might give that a go next time. Mate.
Yeah. When you see Mission Impossible, give it a go.
The mission is stomaching that combination. We're going to talk about quickly our big question is, what was it, Adam? I can't remember.
It was, which of the Mission Impossible stunts do you reckon you could do?
So we had loads of responses from our keen listeners, but we've only got time for one response. How about that? How does that work?
Yeah.
Who responded to it?
Jay Carey, or Jay. Sorry, it's not Jay Carey. It's a bit of a thing that I call him Jay Carey. It's just Jay Carey, but it's fun if his name rhymes. He said a smutty joke. He said, "I don't know which stunt I'd do, but Adam, you're great at the helicopter."
Before we started recording this, Adam's mum went, "No smut on today's episode, please, boys." And then Adam just referred to himself doing the helicopter. So
That's a lovely mental image for you listeners there.
And once again, if you want to see that rather than just imagining it, you can head to our OnlyFans. It's www.onlyfans.moveitup.com.
Oh man, can you imagine if there is an account out there? No, let's move on from this subject.
What Mission Impossible stunt would you do, Adam?
Well, okay, so I think I would love to do the Dead Reckoning, riding a motorbike off a cliff and then parachuting away and landing on a train.
Yeah, I think maybe the most famous is probably the Rogue Nation one, where he's clinging to the side of the plane. I think that's become very, very, very famous, hasn't it? Let me go on this. Let's have a look. There we go. So we're on an Odeon website here. So yeah, we got the biplane from The Final Reckoning, where he clings onto that.
Yeah.
We've got the underwater scene that's on Odeon's list that you already mentioned. The motorbike off the cliff, yeah. The halo jump in the squirrel suit, yeah. The hanging to the plane. What's this one? Yeah, it's not really a stunt. It said the knife next to the eye from Mission Impossible 2. It's not really a stunt, is it?
No, not really. Oh no, because they did genuinely do that. Actually, I think they did do that, and they were told to actually put pressure down. So he was genuinely forcing that, and it's about a few millimeters away from Tom Cruise's eye. I do remember that. Yeah, that was a hardcore one actually.
That's horrible. And then you've got the one where he's up the Burj Khalifa as well, isn't he? That's quite a famous one. I'd like to do none of them. I'm not much of a daredevil, not gonna lie. But Adam, you said you'd like to ride a motorbike off a cliff. So for your birthday this year, we're going to be collecting funds, and we're going to be paying for you to do that.
Yay! Start a GoFundMe. That'd be great. If I manifest it now, by the time the next Mission Impossible film comes out, if there is one, I want to have driven a motorbike off a cliff with a parachute.
Were the stunts in The Final Reckoning on par with other films? Were they really good? Were they like the key set piece of the film, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think Mission Impossible can be a little bit repetitive at times, and that's certainly true for this film as well, in terms of the story beats and maybe some of the musicality beats as well. Although I will say, the way this film starts out, there's a great sort of tropical twist on the Mission Impossible theme, and I was bouncing in my seat. I was so like into it. It was lovely. I can't wait to listen to the full soundtrack when it comes out. Yeah, I would say the stunts were very good in this film. It's kind of a little bit of a rip-off of the fifth film with him clinging onto the biplane, but it goes way further than that in this film. It's like that scene but on steroids, because he's then climbing all round the plane and, hanging off it and jumping, possibly, no spoilers, but possibly jumping from one plane to another.
Well, speaking, this whole episode has been a Thomas Cruise special, let's say. So speaking of Adam's matchbox-sized hero, let's move on over to A-list star.
A-list star. A-list star in Our Impressions Repertoire.
So Adam, we definitely haven't tried to do this 4 times already. Who are we adding to A-list star this week?
We are adding this week Mr. Timothy Crackerbread.
We're adding Thomas Cruise, the Cruise Meister, Cruise Dog,
TC,
Tom Lee Boo Cruisey,
Traction Control,
Traction Control, Cruising low and slow. We're adding Tom Cruise. It's been, I don't know how he isn't on there really.
Yeah, I think maybe we just forgot.
He's one of our OG impressions. The I love my movies, popcorn movies, was like one of the first impressions we did on this show.
It was.
And somehow he hasn't made it on there. So, I mean, I think there's only very few spots where he can go. So where are we popping him on the A-list star, Adam?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. We've got 2 options here. He can either be right at the bottom, and we can just say, in brackets, ranked in order of height, or we can have him right at the top and above the gods, as you suggested, because Scientology is above religion. I think you said that, didn't you?
Yeah, you did just say that.
No, I think you just...
Or you could stretch him out. Third option. Stretch him out and he becomes the measuring stick for the A-list star. A really long cruise.
Long cruise.
It's his brother.
I like the idea
he does all
of
his stunts.
We've got a tier list going, but instead of A, B, C, and S at the top and F at the bottom, whatever. We've just got 4 Tom Cruises, 3, 2, and 1.
It's the new letterbox way of ranking films. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many Toms out of Cruise would you give this film?
Oh, dearie me. Well, he's one of the best, isn't he? He's alive, he's kicking, and
He's slightly unhinged.
Hollywood. Yeah, he's Hollywood and he's unhinged. But hey, that is Hollywood.
The other person going on our A-list star this week, Mr. Paul Hollywood. No, Tom Cruise. Let's chuck him at the top, Adam. Go for it.
Chuck him at the top, yeah. Is he in the gods with us, or is he Pedro Pascal level?
Yeah, on his little wing glider. He's flying into the clouds,
Yeah.
gripping onto a plane, right up to the gods.
Yeah, I agree with that. Up there with me, you, Spielberg, and Goldblum.
Dream blunt rotation.
So true.
If they want to find out more about Moving Up and see some silly little sketches or see the photos of you at the press screening premiere thing, where can they get that?
Alf, I'm glad you asked. The listeners can leap over to Instagram or TikTok. The handles for both platforms are at Moving Up.
That's great. So glad that they can go somewhere to find that. And if they really want, they can email in, electronic mail into us, and they can ask us any questions. They can tell us what stunt they'd like to do. They can tell us what films to watch. They can give us some ideas. They can do anything other than criticise us. You can do that by getting in touch. It's hello@moveonup.com.
It's worth saying, listeners, that you can also send us money. I don't think we've ever said that before, but you can absolutely do that. I think I always get people asking, Adam, do you want money? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, oh, we don't feel comfortable, sending money in. We don't know if you want that on emails or on Instagram and TikTok. And we're like, no, we do.
So our Moving Up Bitcoin address is... No, for real, I might add a buy me a coffee link on...
Yeah.
on our link tree. Someone might do it, you never know.
Buy me a can of water.
Thank you for listening to this Mission Impossible episode. It's nice. It seems like our schedule may be a little all over the shop, if we're honest, in the next couple of weeks. There's not any crazy films out. We're also very, very busy. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. We're going to try and get an episode out every week as we usually do. But yeah, please stay tuned, and soon we'll be hitting that peak summer run of Fantastic Four, Superman, Jurassic World. There's going to be some good ones, but yeah, bear with us for a couple of weeks while there might be some less big films going on.
But I mean, certainly in the next couple of weeks, we've got Lilo and Stitch. We've got the new Wes Anderson film, The Phoenician Scheme. We've got... Is Ballerina coming up soon as well?
Yeah, 5th of June, I think.
Yeah. There will hopefully be at least one film a week to keep you ticking over. And of course, when we finally catch up and watch all 100 hours of Andor, we might do a bonus episode of that, I think, if we get the time. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Keep your ears peeled. But all I can say is thank you for listening today.
Have a lovely week. Look after yourself, and I love my popcorn.